morning, LeBron James from KCAL 9 News. What has been, or what is the key to the success for you and your longevity to play as long as you have for this high rate of success and consistency?
I just think it's having to stay focused and understand being passionate about the period of the game. Understand the ones that came before me, respecting the history of the game, and also understanding that if you want to be great at something, you gotta put in the work. And there's no substitution for work. I put in the work, on the court, off the court, keeping my mind fresh, keeping it as fresh as I can, keeping my body as fresh as I can, keeping my game as sharp as I can, and then just pouring it all to the sport that I've loved for a lot of years now. So I think that's definitely helped me get to this point.
Can you also address, this has been an up and down year for you. I mean, one of the ups was with Mookie Betts at the ballpark at Dodger Stadium, things like that, and then there's the incident with you. So how is he doing, and how has the family managed to get through this crisis?
Bronny's doing extremely well. He has began his rehab process to get back on the floor this season with his teammates in USC, and the successful surgery that he had. But he's on up and up. It's definitely a whirlwind and a lot of emotions for our family this summer. But the best thing we have is each other, and we stuck behind each other and gave Bronny strength throughout the whole process. We're happy to see where he is today. We look forward to seeing what his future still has in store for him.
LeBron, how you doing? Just to follow up on that, how has that just put anything else into perspective for you, just as a parent, going through that, as you think about your career, your family, and all of it heading into year 21?
Nothing else matters besides my family, and obviously I'm gonna dedicate this, the season because to Bronny because of the incident that happened this summer, and understanding that it just puts everything in perspective, and no matter what's going on, in your life at that point in time, that the only thing that matters is your family. To see what he had to go through, or what he's been through over the last few months. It's been a lot. I can only imagine how it's been for him, because it's been a lot for me, it's been a lot for our family. But the man above definitely has given us a lot of strength, and has given Bronny the strength to bounce back. And if he was to walk through the door right now, you wouldn't even know that he had what he had because of how well he's moving, how vibrant he is, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to have him where he is today. And I give the biggest compliment and the biggest shout out and the biggest praise to the USC training staff and coaching staff. When the incident happened, they were Jimmy on the spot. They didn't waste no time, and they were amazing in their efforts to make sure that our son was very well taken care of, and also Cedar Sinai as well, the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and anybody else that had anything to do with his recovery. And it's been an amazing thing.
LeBron, first of all, very good news and happy to hear that about Bronny. From a basketball sense, when you reassessed the Denver series, how much do you think continuity played a part in that? And then, I guess along those lines, coming into this year with a team that really only made changes around the edges and was able to bring much of its core back, how did you feel about the continuity that you're going to enter this season?
Very optimistic about how we can pick off where we left off, and I don't mean the loss in the series. I mean from the trade deadline to how we played all the way up to the Western Conference Finals. I'm very optimistic on seeing how we can pick up from there. Like what you just said with the continuity, with the chemistry, there shouldn't be much teaching. Obviously we're going to, not waste any steps. We're not going to shortcut any corners or whatever the case may be. But there should not be much teaching when it comes to us getting back on the floor. We have that chemistry. Obviously, we have some guys that we are bringing into the fold, but we returned a lot of our core. Myself, AD, AR, Vando, Rui, D'Lo, Max. So we have a lot of guys that know the system that can pick up right where we left off with just a little refresher. So, and I believe the guys that we brought in are smart enough to be able to catch on very fast.
LeBron, last time we spoke to you, you mentioned that your basketball future was uncertain. What went into deciding to return and just that process?
I don't know, just had conversations with my family, conversations with myself, getting inspired, once again from my kids, being on this AAU circuit with Bryce, seeing how he continues to grow, his individual game, being extremely proud of Bronny, being able to go off to USC and see where he was before, obviously the incident, inspired by that, and then I feel like I got a lot more in the tank to give. At that moment I didn't. I was exhausted. I was tired. Mentally, I was in too many different places mentally, and that's what drew that comment or that statement, because that's just how I felt at the moment. But I'm happy to be returning for another season and helping this team, hopefully lead this team to the promised land. That's just the goal.